It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies. Yes, the theaters are still closed, so we continue to stream the latest releases and review some classic films as well. Directors and actors, beware as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hello, Jim.
Hey.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on!
Okay, well, this week on the podcast, we do something completely new. No, just kidding. It's still streaming. Open Rage, the list, Rage or Dare, and then it's straight back to the grind at the sweatshop, drooling in front of the TV, streaming more flicks for another week. And that's our lives. It's streaming.
That's it. We do a whole lot of streaming. And then when we're done with the streaming, we stream a little more.
Yeah.
Stream a little more with me.
Oh, baby.
Yes.
You know it.
Well, on that note,
let's dance. Streaming. And we're doing what?
We're streaming, Jim. Alright. So we are going to start with a movie by the name of The White Tiger, which is a brand new release on Netflix. Apparently, it has a lot of subscribers at Netflix. I don't know if you knew that or not.
It's got a couple.
Yeah. All right, so The White Tiger is the story of a young poor man named Balram in India whose desire to get out of his village takes him on an unexpected journey. Growing up in the environment he was in taught him to be one thing and one thing only, and that is a servant.
And a white tiger.
The story plays out as a series of awakenings for Balram. He gets a job with an affluent family where his education in the corruption and moral absence of his society is clearly presented. From there, he makes many mind-boggling decisions that only make sense because of the fact that he has been taught throughout his whole life that he is disposable and he's only there to serve his masters. This was kind of a shocking look at Indian society. There was no one, and I mean no one in here that I could really root for. Just when you think you could get behind one of the characters, their true color would present itself. I genuinely disliked every single character in this movie. From his greedy grandmother to his spineless brother to his horrible masters to the politicians to his servant peers and even Balram himself. They were all horrible, horrible people.
Yes.
This was sort of a kind of an eat or be eaten story, and it was a very pessimistic look at Indian society. If this is truly the way things are, then I hope a wave of change can occur, as the picture this film painted was a bummer. Just such a bummer, man. This film was a depressing look at the worst side of the human race. Greed and self-preservation outweighed common decency at every turn. It was a hard watch, but perhaps that was the point. This depressing story of moral absence was meh.
Okay. It sounded like you were going to go all apeshit on it. So, okay. I see what you did there. You had me strung along, didn't you, baby?
I guess so. Anyways, what did you think of it?
Well, first off, I thought it was fantastic writing. Every piece of dialogue was so quick and clever, amazing cinematography, and such clean shots through the entire film. The director really grasped the framing of every shot, every pan, I could just break this down from a technical standpoint. This film was brilliant from a technical standpoint. I loved I loved everything about the way it was shot. I love the whole struggle of our lead actor, Adarsh, maybe? Gurav. I love the whole dialogue and script and the delivery of every single thing he put out, the cast system, the family dynamics, the cultural insights. I got so drawn into the drama and feel of his, or should we say the writers, India. The social commentary was, to your point, incredible. It may not have been happy, but it was incredible. Like, it took you on this journey, and you are not getting off until you get to the end, and it's not going to be the India you expect it to be. People weren't doing Bollywood dances. People were not going to the Taj Mahal to visit. They might have been going there to pickpocket. But this was not a happy film. And
every single character was deplorable. It was like
I know.
There was not one
so
nice person in this movie.
I know. This is why. I'm sorry. Is this a problem for you?
No, it's fine. It's just I've never experienced a movie where there's literally no one in it that was likable in even the littlest bit.
We literally talked about a movie the other week that had that same thing, and you hated it. So at least you gave this one a mess. This needs to be said, though. What a concept of an original story. And guess where from? From a book.
Yes.
How about that, people? People are reading books now. What? What's happening here? Thinking they are unique and original and then making movies out of them instead of spending money on sequels or remakes of animated Disney films into live action films, or spending large gobs of money on a movie that has already been made once or twice or three times, like perhaps Annie or Little Woman, or one we talked about earlier, Rebecca, or how about Psycho, or whatever. Pick a movie that has been remade. And this movie is not that movie. This is a movie that was made from a book, that was put into a movie, and it was an original concept, original idea, and made you think outside of the little tiny box that we all live in. This gets a Netflix is making great choices for distribution, Mondo, for choosing this film alone. My favorite line, I will not let him outpray me. I love this movie. Yeah. I thought, you know what? All the way through it, I hated everybody too. It didn't matter. I actually, there was somebody in here you should have been rooting for.
No, there's no one to root for.
That was his cousin, his little cousin, because there's hope for that little cousin. He was the sprinkling near the end of the movie that there was hope to be found.
There was no hope because he's going to be brought up by this douchebag. There's no hope for him. There's no hope for anybody. Yeah,
money,
I do.
Now that he has money.
Money's going to make him a good person. What are you talking about?
Maybe.
He's going to be the biggest prick of them all.
He's going to go meet the Prime Minister of China. It's all good.
Yeah, it was actually the fact that he brought on his little cousin or whatever at the end. It was the most depressing part of the whole frickin' movie because it's like, oh great.
See, that was the hope for me.
There was no hope.
This kid is the hope of India, and perhaps
everybody is horrible, and it's just going to go on and on to generation according to this movie.
Well, maybe that's one writer's and a director's and a whole cast feeling of how they feel about what's happening in India right now.
He just painted an entire country with that brush, that one stroke. I don't know that. As I say, I mean, if this is how it is, oh my goodness! Like, are there really no good people in India? I disagree. I can't imagine that that's true.
I don't know the answer to that, but I enjoyed the fact that this movie made me feel something, and it made me look in a way that I've never seen before. This is, to me, a sign of a great movie. If I'm watching a movie that I'm like...
It was not a great movie. It was okay.
It was...
At best.
I
thought I was going to be like, I was being super generous by giving it a meh.
No way, man. You were probably not generous enough. Every single actor in this movie did an amazing job at being hateable. They were all great actors. There wasn't one bad actor in this movie. There was not one bad shot in this movie. Technically, this movie is made brilliantly.
Yeah, it was all right.
But you just didn't like what you saw.
No, I got no problem. I got no problem with having deplorable characters in a movie. In fact, most of the movies that I like, everybody's terrible. But this one, I just
was just okay. You like vegan Indian food and you like Bollywood dancing, is what I'm hearing you say.
So from there, Jim, why don't we move on to the next movie?
And guess what? It's also deplorable. So let's talk about that.
All right.
Okay. This is The Wolf House.
This is The Wolf House.
It's playing, also known as something?
La Casa Lobo.
La Casa Lobo, which is on Shudder.
Dum dum.
Thank you. Tells the story of Maria, a young woman who takes refuge in a house in southern Chile after escaping from a German colony. Suspicious, huh? Directors Joaquin maybe? Cochina and Cristobal Leon, maybe?
Sure.
Sounds good?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so first off, what the fuck was the beginning of this movie intro about? I was super confused. Was it a public service announcement or part of the movie or a documentary of a cult?
Yeah, it's just a interesting little intro of some...
Yeah, it was a little interesting. So I had to go back and rewatch it again after seeing the film the first time. And I also wanted to research why this movie was made.
Yes.
And the history of this film.
Yeah.
So, as some people remember, or at least they maybe read about it, there was a mass exodus from Germany after the war, World War II, to South America. And there was a colony created from a German pedophile who, and it's also rumored that Joseph Mengele was also part of this colony. So this paints the backdrop of one of the most disturbing and creative films ever created by two artists over a period of 5 years. The German influence, although very subtle at times, also hits you in the face. One of the opening scenes as Maria enters the shack where the entire film takes place is the subtle transformation of a swastika transforming into a window and her commentary of, I need shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And yet so poignant for the horror that is about to unfold in this shack. The animation was incredible, weird, unique, fucked up, original, and outright nothing I had ever seen before. This was a feast for the eyes, ears, senses, and mind. I did not know what to expect or where the film was going to go. This, for me, is the sign of a movie I cannot wait to see it unfold. And unfold it did. Layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of artistic visual masterpiece of handmade animation, transforming from paint to claymation to paper mache to God knows what they used to build with their hands to make these mediums, as if all happening in a single shot. This film was magic to my eyes. I don't know how they did pretty much anything in this film. I just know I did not want to take my eyes off it for a second in fear I would miss something. The transformation from 2D to 3D and back happened so creatively every time. Also, the layering of the voices at times added so much level of creepy to this tale of utter creativeness. This may be one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen, and knowing what influenced this project makes it even more horrific. Knowing the children that would have attended the colony this was based on just adds that much more terror to this film. This artistic endeavor is transformative to the art of film, making it not just going to be for everybody, but I think it was perhaps just made for me. And to me, this film was a motherfucking mondo.
All right.
And we got stuff to unpack, but we can talk about that after you.
Yeah, so I'm looking at what I was gonna say, and you've pretty much said it all. But I'm just gonna say what I was gonna say word for word, and you'll notice some you'll notice some common phraseology as we move through. Like me opening with, "This was a mind-bending feast for the eyes." Every scene melted into the next seamlessly as we explored multiple techniques of animation. Very serious themes throughout.
You're so excited right now.
As this tale is based on the secretive colony, Colonia Dignidad, formed by immigrant Nazi Germans in post-World War II Chile. While one of the things that is known for was its production of sweet honey, it was also a place where many atrocities took place. Not the least of which
is that what they used to call?
what
they used to call?
Yeah. Not the least of which were the crimes committed against the children of Colonia. The story follows Marie as she escapes Colonia and takes refuge in a rather unique house. I was in awe for the entire 75-minute runtime. I've actually got more here, but honestly, you said pretty much everything that I was gonna say. We are simpatico here. This was Mondo. This was so good.
Yeah, I had to watch this the second time. I don't normally do that. I
also watched this a second time because the first time I watched it on a crappy 32-inch TV, and I'm like, I gotta get home and watch this on my 77-inch TV, and and it was so. I mean, it was great the first time.
With surround sound?
But me being immersed in it like I was the second time. What a fantastic film! And just
and I don't know about you, but so I watched it without any preconceived ideas.
I made a couple of connections. And then looked at
and then I had to go back and do the research. And then I went and rewatched it again with new eyes, and it was just that much better. It was just this film. But this film is not going to be for everybody. People are going to watch this and just think this is the most disgusting thing they've ever seen. But it's literally one of the most creative films. It is. I'm going to say this right now. This is literally the most creative film I've ever seen in my life. It will take a very hard time for another film be my number one this year other than this one. I don't think it's going to happen.
It's on its way to its top 10, but I don't know, can it be on our top 10 for the year? Because it's from 2018.
But it was released on Shudder this year.
Yeah, it was, and I
saw it.
Yeah,
and people are only seeing because how many people saw it in 2018? I'm guessing
not too
maybe
many.
Only a film festival, right? So it's sometimes not fair to sort. I know it may have said that, but probably because it hit a festival, right? But then it didn't get picked up. Into major release. So the only time that people are going to now get to see it is now in 2021. So people who are listening to this, if you want a mindfuck that is going to be one of the most creative adventures, please go see this film.
Yeah, The Wolf House is so good. It's available on Shudder right now. And you know what? I'm going to pump Shudder up a little bit here. They've released some good stuff. I mean, just like any streaming service, you're going to get some good and bad, but some of the good has been so good. Like, aren't you, like, this was worth what is it, like $30-something a year or something if you get a yearly subscription to it? I mean,
I would give Shudder $50 just to watch this movie.
Just to watch this movie, yeah. I mean, think of them, and we, just recently we also got to watch Fingers.
Impedagore and
La Llorona, and I mean, just great movie after great movie. Some
and they've got no barriers. And this is what the same thing I was saying about Netflix with White Tiger. It's like there's no barriers. Netflix and Shudder are going out and find great films, and even the ones that aren't great. Like, then guess what? Like, at least in Shudder, we know why they're buying them, because these are film festival films that maybe that we don't like, and some of them we've even raged on, but they're supporting, independent artists to give them a voice for their films. Like, streaming services, as much as we can say we want the theaters back, and we both want that desperately, that streaming services are I think the future of our viewing. We know AMC in the States is officially bankrupt, other than it's being run up right now in short selling, but it basically has no value. AMC is never going to reopen again. So what does that actually mean? I don't know. Like, the world we live in is going to change, and it's probably not what you and I are going to want, but I'm glad that we have these streaming services putting creative stuff out.
No, and as I say, bravo to Shudder. If you get a chance, even go out of your way to watch The Wolf House, because La Casa Lobo is awesome. It is
La
so
Casa
good.
Fantastico.
It's La Casa Fantastico. All right, sir. So from there, we're going to move on to something that Prime is showing us. It's a movie.
It isn't nearly as fantastic.
No, it really isn't. All right. The movie's name is I'm Your Woman. It is currently playing on Prime. This is the story of a crying baby. Almost every scene, the baby cries. He cries in the beginning. He cries in the middle. He doesn't cry quite as much towards the end. His cries overpower.
That's your review.
His cries overpower whatever may be happening in every scene, which is a majority of the first 2/3 of the movie. Just when you think there cannot be any more crying baby, you're treated to another scene with more crying baby. So much crying baby in this movie. Probably the most crying baby in any movie I have ever seen. I would like to see the actual script for this film from director and writer Julia Hart. I would imagine it would read as follows. Page 1, crying baby. Page 2, crying baby. Page 3, more crying baby. Page 57, baby cries again, etc., etc. Between the wails from the star of this film, the crying baby, is the story of a naive woman who is married to a bad man, whose actions put his family in danger. I like how the director kept us in the dark along with our supporting lead, as the actual lead was the much focused on crying baby. Anyways, as I was saying, our supporting lead knew very little about what was going on, and neither did we. We lived in the moment along with her, which caused us to feel the tension that she was experiencing, along with the frustration, of having a crying baby in your ear during much of the journey. It was really effective that we discovered things right along with her as the story progressed. The pacing was good, the acting was good, especially our crying baby, which took 3 babies to perform. Those babies really got into the role. They cried and they cried, then they cried a little more. That was a marvel to watch, and more importantly, to hear. All in all, this was a fairly effective thriller, but it fell short of being a Mondo as there wasn't quite enough crying baby for me. They really should have found a way to have the crying baby more in the last third of the movie. Had they done that, maybe this could have been Mondo, but alas, they did not. So this was a meh. What did you think, Jim?
Well, I remember a scene from Saturday Night Live, which brings back Christopher Walken's famous line, "Gotta have more cowbell."
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, we gotta have more crying baby.
Oh my God.
We gotta have more crying baby.
I've never experienced anything like this.
You know what this movie needs? More crying
baby.
Okay, well, I didn't talk about the crying baby nearly as much as you did. But let me tell you what I thought of this movie.
Yes.
So, first off, can you guess my first complaint about this, other than the crying baby?
It was a period piece.
Yeah, and there's no reason that it needed to be a period piece. Nothing in this movie was anything reminiscent of why this needed to be. They didn't portray the only scene which potentially could have made it, but we know that racism is rampant in the U.S. South, so it's not like it's a surprise that they get pulled over and the black guy has to get out and they think he's an evil person. So this is not a surprise. This wasn't like, oh yeah, this could have only happened in the 70s because racism only existed in the 70s. No, it happens even today, except today they probably would have just killed him out of the car because that's just what's happening. So lots of running away and then waiting and then running again, and then crying babies, then waiting again, and then wondering what's going on, then meeting more cast and more confusion from Jane, as well as me, because I was confused all the way through this movie. I liked all the acting in this. I thought the acting was stellar, but found that the story was missing something huge. I don't know what it was. At some point, I have to care what is happening to anyone, and I didn't. Kind of to your point about White Tiger, is I didn't care about any of these characters. They were just moving along like they're rolling downhill with a baby in hand, not knowing where they're going to land when they hit the bottom of the hill. And it was like, okay, whatever. Like, she's not a strong personality. The only really strong character in the whole thing was her female friend companion that she met later in the show. But otherwise, it was, whatever. I loved Rachel Brosnahan, I think is pronunciation. I love her at everything she does. And I'm glad to see her in making more movies. And if you don't watch her in her she's on. Oh, I lost my thought on where her big show is. The one that's on Prime right now. The one that she plays, Joan Rivers. Oh my God, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Thank you. Sorry, my brain had drawn a blank. She's fantastic, and I didn't even know it was her. Like, she plays such a different character in that, so it really showed her acting chops in this. There was, again, there's no reason for this to be a period piece. Plus, it was too long, and I didn't really care about the characters. Really, pretty much stopped caring about what the real story was, because I don't even know what that is. So it gets a meh, and it's a very low meh. And the only thing that I'm thinking is this needed more crying baby.
It really did. Had there been more crying baby, I think it might have pushed it up to a high meh for you.
Possibly.
Because that last third of the movie, how disappointing was it when they opened up the hole there and the baby wasn't crying? It's like, what's going on?
I was disappointed.
I thought that baby might have been dead for a second there, because all it did was cry, and then all of a sudden, no cry. I'm like, oh, it's dead.
Stopped.
And I'm like, it's alive.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we just unpack a few things about this baby? First off,
yes.
Was it a baby or was it 5 years old? Because that thing's face, it was like, we're watching the movie. It's like, okay, is this a baby now? Like a few seconds ago, it looked like it was baby, and then it was sitting at the dinner table looking like it was going to smoke a cigar and start talking.
What?
I was like, what? Yeah, like it was a creepy baby. It wasn't even a cute baby.
It was a unique looking baby. Like, it could have been that baby's face could be put on like on the body of an 80-year-old man, and you probably wouldn't bat an eye.
Exactly. It's a creepy baby.
Yeah.
And so, can you tell me what the story was about? I'm just confused. What was the story about? What was the actual story?
The story was a
crying baby who was being taken care of.
Yeah, the story was all about a baby that cries, and in the end, doesn't cry as much. It was kind of genius, plot. Really simple.
You know what? I got to give credit to the director, because this should have been a rage for both of us.
Yeah, and for some reason, I was ready to give it a rage, and then the movie was over, and I was like, well, it wasn't that bad. Because I'm thinking the whole time while I have this baby screaming in my ear, I'm thinking this is unwatchable. But then the movie ended, I was like, it was all right.
Okay, so here's another question I had. Yep. Why did everyone know where everyone was at all times, and yet no one could seem to kill anyone until the very end?
Yeah, there's one scene where it's like, why? You know that nice lady that lived next to her, right?
Yeah.
In that, for the little period of time there where she was in that house. Mm-hmm. Why did these people that were searching for, what were they doing in that lady's house? Like, how would they know that there's any connection? Why would they be in there thinking that she would go there? Like, none of it really made sense. Like, I didn't understand that. Or
anytime they needed to, or even like they're talking anytime in the movie, they're just like, oh yeah, he'll find me.
Yeah.
Why? Like, if he can find you, then they can find you.
Then anybody,
and then they
yeah.
would find each other, and then nobody killed anybody. It was kind of like, yeah, we're hiding all these times in all these different places, which everybody knows where these places are.
Yeah.
And it's like you don't really know what they're doing or what their jobs are, or what's happening to anybody anywhere.
Yeah.
And at the end, everybody just goes, it's time to kill some people. You guys have been listening to babies long enough.
Yeah,
let's kill a few people.
Yeah, we killed a few people, and we needed more crying baby. That's what it came down to.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought my favorite line.
Yeah.
I made a white baby.
Yeah. That was kind of out of nowhere too. Like it
was a little out of nowhere.
They're like, okay, we're gonna have fun with this for 2 seconds.
Yep.
And then we're gonna go back to dreariness and crying baby.
Crying babies.
Yes.
So good.
So good.
Well, this is lining me up for my rage.
Is it really? Well, that's kind of exciting.
Oh, it is. It is.
That is so exciting.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
We're just going to chill for a bit here. Okay, so my rage this week is now that I have to watch all of my movie watching on apps or on streaming services, what the fuck, Prime? Why are you the worst streaming app that's ever been created and you're the wealthiest company in the world? Like, this app is terrible. And then on top of that, there's nothing that, I mean, at least with Netflix, every week they send you notifications that new stuff is coming out. You know what's happening. Netflix is such a great app. It literally allows you to know what's new.
I get notifications from Prime.
You do?
I do.
What kind of notifications?
It says, look, we're Prime. This is what's on this week. We got some good stuff.
Yeah, it's all stuff that's not even new. I'm talking about Netflix tells me every week, or actually a notification. There's even a tab in their app that says, here's what's coming out. And do you want me to remind you when it comes out? Oh my God, Prime, what a concept. How about you just throw about $50 into some programmer's hands? You can probably send it into a 12-year-old hand and have an actual proper page to be able to look at some of the films. How about a section that says new to Amazon? What a concept. So that we don't have to go looking all over everywhere or trying to make up decisions with what movie do we want to watch? I have no clue because Amazon is so terrible. And then on top of that, the icing on the cake, if I want to rent a movie that is not from, let's say, video on demand, I want to rent it from Prime. Oh my God, this is I would never do it. I have an Apple TV. I literally just go on Apple, I see the movie, I click on it, and I rent it. No. Amazon Prime has a whole new process to do. They've had this fantastic / terrible app that isn't related to anything. So if you see a movie, you can search it on there. Or you can, I want to see, pick a movie that's new out, whatever, a new one. Let's say Tenet. I want to watch Tenet on Prime. If you try to search it, it might show there, say, you can watch this. But yeah, you got to go to a different app or to the website of Prime / Amazon, and then you can rent it, and then you can go back into your app, and then you can actually try and load it into your rented apps. It's just the dumbest app that's... yes, it's terrible.
I think I can just
like
click and...
Too.
No, I can click and we're good.
Well, maybe on the Roku, but it doesn't work.
No. It's on my Fire Stick, so I'm all hooked up. Yep. Like everything's hooked up through my Amazon account, and anything that I purchase on there just automatically.
All right. So whose Fire Stick is made by what?
For Amazon.
Amazon. Right. Okay. So everything works when it's integrated into Amazon, but if you're accessing it from any other device, it's a piece of shit.
Okay, well.
I'm not going to go and now get a Fire Stick or whatever the hell you use to be able to fucking scream on Prime. It's the stupidest program, and they need to change it. Otherwise, fuck you, Amazon.
That's
my rage.
I like Amazon.
Yeah, well,
I like the Fire Stick.
Also,
Fire Stick's been good to me.
And so are you.
There you go. All right, well. I respectfully disagree with your rage.
Oh, well. Try getting it from your Apple TV.
I just don't care enough. I actually am frustrated with like all the Apple stuff. So I don't know. Apple's been pissing me off lately too. So we're on opposite sides of this.
It's kind of like back when Shudder wasn't your friend.
Oh, me and Shudder, we had some problems, man. Me and Shudder, it was.
We've got history.
Yeah, we have major history. I thought one of us was going to go down in that, but we both managed to survive, and we're amiable now. Apparently, my Shudder renewal's coming up. I've been informed. So I'm trying to think if it all adds up, but I'm pretty sure it does. I think we're good. All right, sir.
Let's have it.
Yeah, it's my turn, isn't it? All right. My rage this week. The Marksman was just released recently, which is an action film starring Liam Neeson. It looks like this one. In this one, he takes on a Mexican drug cartel. The fact that this movie, along with every other Liam Neeson action movie over the past decade plus, the fact that these even exist is my rage this week. Stop making action movies, Liam Neeson. They're terrible. Every single one of them. You've not made a good action movie in forever.
I would just like to add on to your rage that it's not just action movies. He also makes terrible other movies.
No.
So, no, they're terrible.
No. He makes some good movies. He made that one with that person, the lady with the face. And then he made then that movie in Italy.
That was also
good too.
Terrible. That was an awful movie.
Yeah, it was good.
And it should have been a rage. And if you had given it a rage that it deserved, I'm changing my rage. My rage is at you. Because I wouldn't. I'm going to let you watch the Liam Neeson movie because I am not going to watch it. I know it's going to make me rage, and unless I'm dared to watch it by somebody, I am not watching it.
I got no intention of watching it.
Oh, you'll probably watch it. Just like you're going to watch.
I might.
What's that stupid movie that's coming out someday, maybe this year? Something about Maverick or something. It's like a movie. It's like Hot Shots Part 3.
Ah, you're talking about the sequel to Top Gun.
Oh, right. The Top Gun sequel.
Yes.
Yeah, Maverick.
I only said
that's going to be a winner.
I only said I really am dreading watching it, but I sometimes when you've got a those people that are
take one for the team.
Well, people pass a car crash and they just can't help but look. I believe that's going to be the case with this one. I know our buddy Murray is like super looking forward to it. I only said I'd go there so that we'd have a point counterpoint going on with that one because I think we may be on opposite sides of the spectrum as far as what we think of that movie.
You know what? I might go along. It may end up being the first movie we get to see in theaters again.
Yeah, maybe.
Wouldn't that be terrible?
I was actually looking up what all these movies and when they say they're going to release and everything, and it's like, wow, they're putting release dates on movies again, and we will see. I hope they're correct, but yeah.
Of course, there's going to be no theaters, so
Yeah, that's kind of a problem, eh? All right, sir.
Let's talk about some actors.
Well, let's do this first.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right. Well, the first question I have for you is, did you see that Frank Capra film?
Yeah, I did, Jim.
Uh-oh. This is the one. This is the one we've all been waiting for. This is hinging on this poor dead man / director's whole future of being undoubted lays on Frank Sinatra and his acting talents.
Yes.
It just has to be a meh.
It just has to be a meh. All right.
It just has to be a meh.
So last night, I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this Capra movie. It's Frank Sinatra, so the odds of it being any good at all are rather bad. And it wasn't good. It's called A Hole in the Head. Sinatra was terrible in it. It had this annoying kid that absolutely cannot act.
CLF. I love it.
There was no chemistry between Sinatra and this kid. They are supposed to be father and son, and it was just almost unwatchable.
Despicable. Oh no. This is not sounding good for Frank Capra.
It had a dumb ending that made absolutely no sense. It was like super sappy. It had stilted dialogue. None of the attempts of humor were landed like even close. It was just, I watched it stone-faced I think it was almost 2 hours. It went on and on and on, and there was no story.
He does like to make long movies.
This was a rage. Frank Capra is definitely not Undoubted. This movie sucks. You should have to go back and watch this movie because it sucks. It is awful. Awful.
I don't think I gave it a mondo, but I seem to remember giving it a meh.
No, you cannot give
I'm
a
gonna
hole
try.
in the head meh.
I don't have
awful.
to. I think that Frank Sinatra's cute.
That's fantastic. It was so freaking bad. I was sitting there going,
I mean, this is a terrible scenario.
yeah.
Because you think about it, this man's career has been mondos, and he makes one movie with Frank Sinatra. It's, you know what? It's really the essence of why we have this. We have the lists.
Yeah. One misstep and it can cost you your legacy forever.
Can cost you your legacy forever. But you know, here's the thing. I'm almost proposing that we should look because, you know, actors can be mesmerizing.
Yes.
But directors, because it's really their vision, and I'm not saying that we should do this. I'm just planting a seed that potentially the director can't make it. If a director can't make the Undoubted list, but it's still a director. Like if he was still operating even today, we'd still go back and we would go see his movie. So it's almost like we need a new class for directors that, you know, they can't make the Undoubted list, but you know, it's still in our mind. It's like he's got taste, he's got class.
Nope. Directors got one shot. They're either undoubted or they're doubted, and that is it. They cannot make any other list.
No, they're not doubted. They're either undoubted, doubted,
a director can
or
be
neither, or neither. It's not just two choices. They have doubted, undoubted,
or neither,
or neither of the above. Or meh. I guess they're just meh.
I guess they're just meh.
At any rate, so sad.
They've got two shots of making our list. They're either frickin' awful or they're frickin' awesome. And that's just the way it goes.
I'm sorry, Frank Capra. You've made one of my favorite movies of all times, but you are not Undoubted.
Nope.
That's what happens.
Yep.
You got anything for me? Or are you just riding my coattails?
Yeah, I'm riding your coattails one more week.
Okay, you're gonna pull something out of your ass at some point. Okay, so my list of doubteds are gone, so I want you to focus some attention on doubted if you can.
Yep.
But I do have an undoubted I'm going to put forward, and I have a feeling they're not going to make it. But they need to have their name out there.
Never hurts to try.
Yeah, well, plus, I think their last few films, they might just have to make a few more. They've been making a bunch of TV, which I know you hate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going back to 2012.
Yep.
with the movie Ruby Sparks?
Man.
Okay, that's what I also had it as. So 2012, also the movie Looper, which to me was a Mondo.
Looper.
So if it was a man, we don't have to go any further.
No, Looper was a Mondo.
Okay. 2013's Prisoners, which to me was a Mondo.
Yeah, Mondo.
2013 was 12 Years a Slave, which was a Mondo.
Mondo.
2014 was Love and Mercy, which for me was a Mondo.
Love and Mercy was... Oh, that was the was that the Brian Wilson thing?
Yep.
Yeah, Mondo.
Okay. Oh, we're batting 1,000. You figured out who it is yet?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let me go. Where I lost my list. Whoa, where'd you go? Youth, 2015.
Youth was Mondo. My mother didn't like it though. Watched it with
I
my
loved
mom.
it.
Mondo.
Okay. 2016 was Swiss Army Man, which for me was a Mondo.
Yep, Mondo.
And officially on our list, effective today, is Paul Dano, because his last movie was Okja, which we both thought was Mondo.
Mondo. Okay, I've got a
He's
question for
officially
you.
Undoubted. Yep.
I know I put him forward before.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
Because
did.
I would have it on my list.
I did. But he didn't
Well, what
make...
did I give two men?
You did. I don't remember, but now I have to go back and listen because I know you kiboshed him.
No way.
Yes,
Seriously?
you did.
I went back and watched all the movies again. So
because it was based on Prisoners, which you did not like at all at the time.
but did I give it a rage?
I can't remember. I have to go look, but you were the one that kiboshed Paul Dano. I guarantee it. I remember. Now I got to go look.
Oh, this is great.
But
I went back and watched his movies.
I am super thrilled that because as you were saying it, I was like, have you figured it out?
familiar.
And I'm like, yeah, I figured it out, but we've already kiboshed him, so I don't know why. I'm very happy that you're listing all these Paul Dano movies because I said he was Undoubted last year, but let's ride this out. And then you said Paul Dano, and I was like, yeah, but you kiboshed him. But now he's on, and I'm happy. But I'm
okay. Well,
I gotta go
went
find
back and rewatched it. You know what? You know what I think it was. I think I remember it now because I think I gave 12 Years a Slave a Matt, and I think I gave Prisoners a Matt.
Yeah, that might have been. And now you're
And then
giving
I
them
went
both
back and
Mondo.
rewatched it. Well, I went back and rewatched them both with
Yep.
different eyes, right? Like 'cause when Prisoners came out, that was 2013.
Yeah.
And I didn't appreciate it. And then now I've re-looked at it. And same with 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I'm glad I went back and looked at it.
I'm glad you did because
12 Years a Slave.
Paul Dano is so underrated. I love this guy. He is fantastic. Just fantastic.
I love the fact that, you know what? Just because they don't make it one time, maybe something will happen.
Yes. Sometimes you got to go back
You
and
never
take
know.
another look. I'm glad that for some reason it ended up on your radar one more time and you took another look without even realizing it. And I am super stoked that Paul Dano is on the list because he deserves it.
You know what generated it from it was because we were talking about our friend from Parasite, because we still have to see a few of his movies, and so it was through Okja that I came back and went back through it. So good news.
Very good news.
Okay, I'm gonna throw out a Mesmerized.
All right, throw away.
And I don't think we've thrown him out before, but I'm throwing out John Hurt.
Ooh, John Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
John Hurt. Yes. Yes,
Awesome.
he is mesmerized. Or mesmerizing, I should say.
I watched 1984 the other day, and he's so brilliant.
Yeah. No,
It's like he's captivating, and yet before he died, he made so many bad movies. Why, John? Why?
yeah. It sucks when you think, oh, I got a good one for the Undoubted, and then you look at the movies like, oh no.
Yeah,
Well, maybe he's mesmerizing then.
Yeah, well, I mean, he is.
It's like the consolation prize, but
yeah. Well, but think of some of the best actors, right? We have like Christopher Walken. Will never be on the Undoubted list. He makes too many movies.
Such crap.
And he's just working all the time, right? Or same with Steve Buscemi, right? Like Steve Buscemi does a lot of work, so he just some of these directors or some of these actors are so talented, but they just I don't know. It's like I'm bored. Someone's going to give me money. I'll do it. I don't know why, right? It's just
such is life.
Crazy times.
Yes.
Oh well, that was a good, successful week. I'm happy.
Yeah, 'tis good.
It's good.
Frank Capra, unfortunately, does not make it, but a couple others do.
Yepper.
All right, so...
All right, last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce finally raised his odds for raging when he was lucky enough to pull the dirty, horny, filthy porn film Mannequin, about a boy addicted to having sex with a mannequin. Wait. That was the one that I watched. Bryce pulled the 1987 Andy McCarthy film with a similar but less graphic storyline. This week, I can get back to a regular rage-filled goodies from Bryce's bag instead of the terror that is the torturous bag of dare from our rage-filled listeners. Let's check in with Bryce and see if he enjoyed Mannequin as much as I did mine.
Yes. Mannequin.
Did you get to masturbate to Mannequin like I did? Or no, it wasn't worth it?
No, I did not. All I can say I can say a lot of things about Mannequin.
Please tell me more about Mannequin. It's my shining glory of my bag.
It was a very, very good pick there. Wow. This movie was bad. Unoriginal, one-dimensional characters recycled from terrible 80s sitcoms like the dumb security guard and the flamboyant gay dude, as well as the bitchy ex-girlfriend in a comedy that did not make me laugh once.
Not even one.
Not even once.
I'm laughing more at watching you have to tell me about you watching this.
Lots of stereotypes played for attempted laughs, along with some truly bad acting, made for an unbearable 90 minutes. We could have gotten better performance had they just filmed actual mannequins instead of using Andrew McCarthy and Kim Cattrall. The movie started with a convoluted introduction in ancient Egypt that was just sort of confusing, as it failed to explain in any way how Kim Cattrall ended up in the present day and why she was a mannequin that has come to life that only Andy McCarthy can see. I did not have...
This plot sounds stellar.
I did not have any idea of what was going on. We also got a really bad 80s soundtrack with the likes of Belinda Carlisle and Starship. Along with a score that seemed to be performed on one of those cheap Casio synthesizers you could pick up at the local Radio Shack back in the day. The whole thing was a mess. The whole thing was a rage. It was painful to watch. This was so... I was just like... I was folding in on myself, trying to get away from the movie, squirming the whole time, because I was so uncomfortable watching this terrible piece of garbage.
Oh my God.
I look at some movies in the 80s, and this is the shining example. And was this late 80s or early 90s? I don't even know. I have no idea.
It was, hold on.
How did this get...
It was 1987.
There you go. How did this get made? I don't understand how some of these 80s comedies got made. They're beyond bad. Like, beyond bad.
You know what the saddest thing about what your comment is I think this got like a 6.1 on IMDb.
No. Maybe a 1.6.
Yep. 6.0.
That is wrong.
Some people watched this movie and liked it. Wait, is this Murray's rating on here? He gave it a 9.
Yeah, Murray. Yeah, Murray just went in like 100,000 times and went 9, 9, 9.
Okay, I just want to read this one review so that we have a contrast. Delightful, silly, romantic comedy fantasy. Mannequin is a silly movie, to be sure, but I found it to be very funny at times. I was just a teenager when I first saw this movie. And now they're senile.
Oh my God. No, it was bad. Bravo, Jim. You it's been a while since I've hated a movie this much. It was bad. Very bad.
I am going to win this challenge. All right, well, let me pull from your cute little bag, your cute little tasty bag.
Yeah, I gotta retool this bag. I'm down to 3 things. Here, I've got all 3 in my hand right now. So you just say,
you know what?
Say left,
you know
right,
what?
or middle.
I'm gonna let you look at them all.
You want me to look at them?
I want you. Yep, and I want you to pick the one that is not a musical.
Oh no, we're not doing that because I know there must be a musical in there. That's not happening.
There's all 3 of them are musicals.
This is on you, mister. So you've got a choice to make. You're gonna say left, right, or middle.
Always go right.
All right, so
always go right.
All right, so it's in my right hand, so this is the one you're getting.
Yep.
And it is...
Oh, I'm so excited.
Ooh, this is exciting.
Isn't it?
Are you ready for a little Britney Spears?
Are you sitting down? I love Britney Spears. Crossroads. It's such a dramatic role for her. Oh, I can't wait to see this.
Yeah. Wow, how'd this even make it into my bag? It's such a good movie.
It's a Mondo in the making.
I've been waiting for you to get this one. I'm very happy that you're gonna have to watch Crossroads.
Well, I have never seen it, so I'm looking forward to seeing
Isn't it nice
new.
when you get something from the bag that's fresh and new that you'd never seen before? I tell you.
Fresh and new.
I envy you, mister. I envy you.
Most people do.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. So.
Oh, what that means. Okay. So, first off, thanks to our Twitter family, because we just hit 3,000 followers this week. So, thanks all our Twitter fam. Thanks again for all our Ragers for listening. Thanks to the extended Film Rage crew of Leonard Conlon for his artistic vision and photography via Leonard Conlon Photography. Thanks to Murray. We want you back, so hurry up. Listen to us on all the podcast streaming sites. Find us at on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Film Rage YYC, or on our website at filmrageyyc.com. We are always wanting your feedback to make this a raging blast for our listeners. So please go on all of our social media at Apple Podcasts, our website, Podchaser, and give us some feedback. Or give us more dares. Maybe there's a Crossroads 2 out there. No matter what you do, please make us rage. Please, please. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!